Thi- this episode, oh boy, like I don't know what's better, the background story shit that's happening with She-Hulk, or all of the small teasers that have essentially been popping up since episode 1. So the She-Hulk side, right? We see that at the end of the last episode, um after Jennifer Walters beats Titania, her life just implodes. Yes, she's a hero, but no law firm wishes to hire her because of her superhero identity, which I kind of feel is, in all honesty, bullshit. And like Jennifer Walters being the lawyer, I kind of thought that she would have threatened one of the legal agencies, which is like, isn't this discrimination? Is this discrimination? This is definitely a discrimination, right? Like, you're not supposed to be able to discriminate me because I'm a fucking Hulk. Like, I'm one of the best lawyers who went to school for this shit, and I've been doing all of these fucking cases. I'm a goddamn rock star, and you're telling me that you won't hire me because I may or may not turn green, because they may be bad press for your agency? Wouldn't it be good press for your agency? I'm fairly certain at this point in time, she's probably like the highest clicked subject on TikTok, one of the most talked about things on Twitter. She's probably got a bunch of YouTube videos of her kicking ass inside of it. Like, she is a hot commodity. You could have probably hired her, and she would have been your ace rock star of your organization. Which I why is it that I can't remember the name of what like a legal organization is called? It'll come to me. Somebody in the comments will comment it. But she'd probably be the rock star of your entire organization. So it's super weird that everybody was like, no, 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 not hired. But she essentially gets hired for the superhuman legal department, which, funnily enough, this does exist in the comic books, because superheroes get into a fuck ton of trouble. There are Daredevil is also a part of like this organization, but Matt kind of flips back and forth between running his own organization and then sometimes stepping in to help with superhero issues while also doing superhero shit, and then not dealing with his more smaller organization. Daredevil flip flops. So it's going to be interesting when his character shows up later on in the series to deal with Jen, because I feel as though she's going to try and recruit him to join the superhero legal department, which is going to be interesting to see whether or not he chooses to join. But then we get into like all of the fucking teasers, because basically we meet her family. First off, her father needs to be protected at all costs. Dude is awesome, wholesome Mr. Walters. Like, he's great. And I like the fact that her family is dysfunctional, because a lot of times you really don't get to, outside of Hawkeye and Thor, not really Thor. Odin's a dick. Freya was great, but then she died. And then of course Loki's Loki. But we haven't really seen a normal family, I would say, outside of Hawkeye. And even then, that family isn't really fucking normal. So it was great to see like normal parents reacting to like the situation that their kid is in, and then her father giving her like that extra emotional support and that boost. But then also the fact that they acknowledge that, you know, we have experience with this because we've had this Hulk situation in the family before in regards to Bruce. And then of course Bruce calls her, and she's talking about having to take on the case with Emil Blonsky, which it's great to see that Emil can control when he wishes to be Abomination and when he wishes not to be Abomination. That's fucking awesome. Because the question I kept asking myself is, when does Wong take you to fucking Fight Drome so that like both of you can fix a match so he can make some quick money? And that question was answered by the end of the fucking episode. But it was great to see him basically not only apologizing for everything that he did as Abomination, which he does have a really good case, because to be fair, Thunderbolt Ross did inject him with an experimental drug, and then he was experimented on by another guy, so his emotions were completely out of whack when he became Abomination, hyper fixated on Hulk trying to kill him. So he does have a really great legal case for basically pleading, well, not even really pleading insanity, but pleading that he wasn't in control of his emotions, or should I say he wasn't really in control of his actions when he did that destruction and mayhem in Harlem, killing those soldiers and civilians. So it was great basically seeing him say that, you know, he really wanted to apologize. And he also wants to like retire to some villa paid for by his 7 like loves of his life pen pals, which it'd be funny as shit if we discover that it's not really 7 different love of his life pen pals, it's just one, and that person's Wong. Wong is the love of his life, and like he takes different pseudonyms to write to Emil Blonsky, which is why he broke him out of jail so he can fight him in freaking China. But we basically see him say that, yo, I'm not, you know, the same person, I'm sorry, I've grown from the person that I used to be. But then you flip over to Bruce, who's also like, yeah, he wrote me a letter a while back, and he's right. I'm no longer the man I was when I fought him. Which I was like, wow, is that really like a reference to the fact that back then it was Edward Norton and now it's fucking Mark Ruffalo? That's great. I love the fact that you keep breaking the fourth wall, She-Hulk, even if you don't intend to. But then Hulk takes off into fucking space, which I'm gonna have to make a video completely about the fact that that might be a teaser for World War Hulk, especially since the producer said this week that the Hulk will return at some point in time in She-Hulk, and I'm assuming he's going to return in the final episode, and it's going to be World War Hulk, and it's going to set up for a World War Hulk movie, right, Marvel? You wouldn't tease me with him returning back to Sakaar and not make it a World War Hulk movie, right? Please give me a World War Hulk movie. Like I said, we're gonna talk about this in like its own separate video, but please give me my own World War Hulk movie. But she accepts the job. She decides to be Emil. This episode was really short. It was like 30 minutes, but it was like a good 30 minutes. Like, she chooses to take the job, and just as she's about to like sit down and start writing up a defense for Emil Blonsky, the news pops on and he was in the fight drone. So She-Hulk takes place during the events of Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi takes place during the events of Eternals. So basically we had 2 stories happening around the exact same time, because at the end of the episode we got the post-credit scene, and in the post-credit scene Jen is typing away on her laptop, and as she's typing away, first off, can we talk about the fact that Jennifer Walters has Captain America's ass as her login screen on her phone? That is funny as shit. That cracked me up for maybe like 5 minutes. I literally had to pause and like zoom in because I was like, what is that? I was like, wait a minute, I know America's ass anywhere. Zoom in. That is definitely Captain America's ass. But it was on the screen, which is related articles. Man fights with metal claws in a bar brawl. That is Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen, and he deserves his own fucking video. And then right beneath it is, why is there a giant statue of a man sticking out of the ocean? Which that is a reference to Eternals. So it seems as though at the end of this episode, Eternals must have just happened. So I don't know if Eternals had just happened, but Aramesh hasn't shown up to basically kidnap Cersei, Phastos, and Kingo, or it just happened, like the face just popped up out of the ocean. But the mutants thing is fucking gigantic, like I said, and deserves its own video. I think this episode was great. It was definitely on the short side, mega on the short side, and there really wasn't as much action in this one. This one was more funny, quirky, family talking in time. Also, Jennifer's friend, her paralegal friend, is fucking hilarious. Everyone needs a friend like that. Everyone needs a friend who has your back through thick and fucking thin, and is completely down for 11 o'clock mimosas in your office, which overlooks like all of fucking New York. Abso-fucking-lutely. That is great. That is a great fucking friend, because she is supportive as hell. But yeah, I can't wait until the next episode. Like, I think She-Hulk is filling that really nice void of not too serious but not too goofy, just perfectly right in the middle of something you can sit down and you can enjoy and you can follow, and then you can get super hyped for all the small teasers that they throw in. Because I think in episode 1 there was a teaser for Johnny Blaze that I missed, and somebody brought it up like later on, and I was like, holy shit, that is a fucking poster of Ghost Rider on the wall. So yeah, keep on keeping on, Marvel, because I'm enjoying this series. Fuck the haters. this is great. I'm loving it so far. Like, yes, I am okay with She-Hulk doing her She-Hulky things, but I'm really hoping that we kind of get back to like her own personal story and the side quests can stop. But yeah, this episode was great. I enjoyed it a lot. It was definitely on the short side, which I feel as though kind of sucks, because by the time I really started getting into it, all of a sudden it was over. But I feel as though this episode was the throwaway setup episode, and that's okay. You got to see more of Jen's like personal life, and then you also got to see a couple stories that Marvel has basically in the oven that they're probably gonna deliver to us at some point in time when they're done. But yeah, let me know what you think about the episode. Comment down below, and I will catch you in the next one.